And welcome back. I'm on to the further maths 5 a day for the 16th of Feb. And let's go with the first question. Right, what do we have? It's interesting because I can always see the diagrams before I zoom in. I'm never sure where it's going. This actually, it looks a bit like a volume question, but it's actually a 3D trigonometry question. Because I'm wondering basically, so it's a theory question, because obviously you don't really have a rod and it won't fit in. A rod has dimensions, but basically it's saying, can you measure from the one corner to the opposite corner? And the reason it wants you to do that is because if that length is greater than 1 meter, it means the rod will fit in, and if it isn't, it means it won't. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You've either learned how to do 2D Pythagoras twice, or you've learned that 3D Pythagoras, which comes from 2D Pythagoras, tells you that the length z squared, actually I can't do z squared, can I? So let's call it the length squared. So the length squared is equal to x squared plus y squared plus z squared. In other words, 3D Pythagoras you can do all in one go. So I can say therefore the length squared is going to be, now it's 1 meter, so I'm going to work in meters. So it's 0.85 squared plus 0.4 squared plus 0.4 squared. In other words, I'm saying that's my x, that's my y, and that's my z value. So if I get my calculator out, so it's going to be 0.85 squared plus 0.4 squared plus 0.4 squared. It's going to give me 104.25, which implies that the length is a square root of that. And actually, I don't really need many decimal places here, do I? Just need to say it's 1.02, which is greater than 1. So therefore, rod will fit. In other words, my diagonal is longer than 1 meter, so my rod will fit into it. Good question. Next one. Functions. Everyone dislikes functions, so it's always good to practice these. And it says find f of g of x. Okay, fine. Now, remember, that means find f of g of x. So I'm going to do f of g of x, which is 1 minus x squared. So I'm going to do f2 1 minus x squared. So I'm going to do f of 9 minus 2 times 1 minus x squared. Now this sort of nested way of doing it, I have to say, is a bit messy. It's easy to get it wrong, so be careful. Do it in separate bits if you feel more comfortable. But this isn't terrible, so I'm happy to go ahead. So I've got 9 minus 2, which is 7, and minus 2 times minus x squared is plus 2x squared, so it's 7 plus 2x squared. And then I'm doing f to that. So I'm going to do 9 minus 2 times that thing in the brackets, which is 2 plus x squared, which is 9 minus 14 minus 4x squared, which is all going to give me, well, 9 minus 14 is minus 5, so it's going to be minus 5 minus 4x squared. Good question, like that question. Next one. Y equals this mess here, work out dy dx. Now, of course, what it wants you to do, I'm laughing because it's just set up to really make you think, but it's actually just a differentiation question. Expand the brackets first. So that's going to give me 5x to the power of 5 minus 15x to the power of 4, all divided by x. Now I can divide everything by x because I'm factorising out and cancelling in x is what I'm doing. So that's going to give me 5x to the power of 4 minus 15x to the power of 3, which means if I differentiate, that's going to be, well, 4, bring down the 4 times 5 is 20, so 20x cubed minus 45x squared. And that's question done. Not terrible, right? But it's an okay question. Final question, so a bit of trigonometry solving. Solve the equation, and then I've got a cos and a sine. Now, you don't know how to do that, as in I can't solve with cosines and sines, but I do know how to turn the cos into a sine. So I'm going to do 1 minus sine squared, in other words, the reverse of sine squared plus cos squared equals 1, plus 8 sine x minus 7 is equal to 0, which is going to give me, so the screen keeps moving, which is going to give me minus 4 sine squared x plus 8 sine x. And then here I've got 4 minus 7, which is going to give me minus 3 is equal to 0. Now I could actually solve that, but I'm going to tidy up because I think it looks nicer to start with a positive. So that's going to be 4 sine x squared minus 8 sine x, 8 sine x plus 3 is equal to 0. Now, I'm just going to have a go at this because I think I'll be able to do this one. I know I'm going to probably have a 3 and a 1. I know because it's a negative in the middle that they're both going to be negative, so that makes this a little bit easier. And 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 1 is 2, and 6 plus 2 is 8, so therefore it's going to be 2x and 2x. So that's not terrible. However, remember it's not an x, is it? It's going to be a sine x, so I'm going to replace that with a sine x, which is why I left a small gap, although not big enough. Let's write the whole thing a bit neater. So 2 sine x minus 1. Which means, because I still haven't finished, have I? Which means that sine x is equal to 3 over 2, so that's come from here, or sine x is equal to a half. Well, this gives me no solutions because it's greater than 1. So all I want is sine x is equal to half. Sine x is equal to half when x is equal to 30. What do I want on in between 0 and 360? So you should know this one anyway, but just so you can see where I'm getting it from. So sine x looks like this. There's my 30. 180 minus 30 is 150. So therefore it's going to be 150. So answer to today's question, final question, is 30 and 150. Really good mix of questions again today. They are mixing them up very well. So well done if you got all those. Definitely a harder set of questions today, but equally not too hard, nicely challenging. As ever, do like, subscribe, and well done if you got all of those. Thanks all.